Normally put commercial fertilizer on my fields. I usually like to use manure, but unfortunately I don't have enough livestock to generate the manure that I would need to sufficiently fertilize all the fields. So therefore we're kind of left with the alternative choices of commercial fertilizer or nothing. So I've got some commercial fertilizer, and this is blended in Vermont. This has nitrogen, phosphate, and potash in it, and it's kind of like a rainbow color. You can see it's got all these different colors. And I've also mixed it with lime. This is pelletized lime, and you can run pulverized lime through these spreaders, and it works fine. But I just happen to have this pelletized lime, and the pelletized lime has calcium and magnesium in it. And you know, a lot of the complaints about using commercial fertilizer is that the soil is basically dead, but the limestone helps improve the soil structure, and it promotes the growth of bacteria, the healthy bacteria that you want in your soil. So, you know, a lot of times you'll see, like I said, you'll see these shows where they show you these fertilized fields of like corn or whatever, and the soil just looks terrible. But the magnesium and calcium are two of the essential nutrients that are missing. This is a rotary spreader. By rotary, it's got this disc on the bottom that flings everything out to the sides and backwards, and it's got a shield on there so it doesn't throw it back at the tractor. A lot of people buy these to put salt on for their driveways, and then they don't wash them, which was the case of why I got this one really cheap. I bought it seized up and inoperable, so I fixed it and got it going again. And you can see there's a little bit of deterioration down here, but it works fine, and for the price I paid for it, it's going to serve me pretty well. Some of the bigger spreaders have a pendulum on the back that just kind of goes like this, you know, and that just throws it off side to side. This one you can make it so it just comes out center or right or left, but I've got it set to center, which basically sends it all.
So the higher up you get it, the further your spray will go, and you kind of want to move along. Here's your lever that meters the amount of flow that comes out, and this right here is the maximum amount I want to put down. If you put down too much fertilizer at one application, you'll burn the grass, and then you've got dead grass for a season, maybe even more. So you want to, less is more. It's basically a good rule of thumb as far as fertilizer goes. And also with the lime in there, the fertilizer's hot, the lime's the base, so it'll make it a little bit more neutral. Don't put this kind of fertilizer down if you just put grass seed down, because you'll kill it. It's just too hot for brand new grass. If you've got any standing water, you don't want to put fertilizer in it, because the nitrogen will be dissipated and it's pointless. You just wasted it. Best time to put it down is right before a nice soft rain, not a pouring rain that's going to drive it into the ground somewhere else or run off. So even if it's after a nice light rain, the organic compound that binds the chemicals in these will easily break down with moisture. So ideally right before a nice soft rain or right after a rain, as long as you don't have standing water or you're going to get into mud. I always fertilize first thing in the morning or later on in the afternoon. In the early spring, it doesn't matter too much as long as the grass is growing. You don't want to spread the fertilizer really before the grass starts growing. If you put some fall fertilizer down before snow hits, it helps to get your grass growing a little bit better in the spring, but you don't want to over fertilize. And again, you don't want to do it before heavy rain because it'll wash off and then you wasted all your money. Over a lot because it's nitrogen fixing and it stays green even when the rest of your grass turns brown. Also, it makes good forage, and I like the little white flowers on the clover. If you're using white clover, and in the fields, the purple clover is really nice. So I don't ever put weed and feed down. According to my pedometer, I walk about 4 miles or so every day. That's just doing regular farm chores. That's not including if I do something extra like go fencing or whatever. So I know I'm always tired at the end of the day. So the cobwebs have started. I just walked through some. Barn spiders will be out, and the cows got out, and they obviously came down here and pulled every one of the hoses off. They ate my plastic that goes over. It's biodegradable. I bought biodegradable plastic that goes over the garden. That's probably junk. They knocked the fence down in the corner. It's behind the picket fence. You can't quite see it. I'll show you in a second. Almost steady for a week, and the grass is wet. And so are my feet. I won't complain about the rain though, because come July or August, we probably will have a drought, and I'll be wishing for rain, so I don't complain about it when we have it. I just hope we get a break long enough to do hay. Last year was fine. But I think the year before that, we were trying to dodge raindrops to get hay in, so it was really difficult. The fields were muck, and last year was good, so hopefully we'll have another year like last year where it's easy to get in and out. But is it just me, or do others have this problem where I spend a significant portion of my day just walking around looking for stuff and wondering where I had it last? Because it seems like I just had my tripod. Henry, what you doing, bud? The dogs are tied up. You don't have to worry about them. So I know I came up here. My tripod was there, and I grabbed it, and where I put it, nobody knows, including myself. So I got to clean these out a little bit from last year. You can see all the mineral deposits left, so we'll just give that a quick scrub. I'm going to put this one down there. I had this one out there because I had the sheep out there for the winter, but the sheep won't be back there for the summer. The sheep will be here, so I'll put the short one there for them, and I'll put the big one here for the cows right now, but they won't be out here much longer. The cows will get moved down back soon. This is one of those Bob Vila gimmicks. I don't use it on metal, but on plastic, everything has its place. I like it on the plastic because it doesn't mar it up. The PVC fittings for the sap lines and hoses and stuff like that, it works great. I don't know how I'd try it on, on working on a car or something. But like I said, for stuff that's plastic, this and the Robo grips work pretty well because they don't crush it. They don't make a mess. And I just think these are kind of neat piece of history. There was a bunch of different things that Bob Vila had, and this is one of them. At a certain point, it shuts the hose off, and it had this plastic thing that came with it, but there was another swivel nub on there that basically allowed you to hook a hose to it. It was this end, but I don't know what happened to it. So I got this gender changer, so I'll put that on, and we'll Robo grip it on. The thing about this is it works both ways, whereas an adjustable wrench doesn't. The adjustable wrench only works one way, otherwise it slips off. pasture is like literally halfway up my boot, but I can't get the animals out here yet as much as they want to be because it's still raining and I don't want them to tear it all up. So I get them trained so they can have one wire and it doesn't even have to be on. They'll just see a wire and they won't go across it. If there's a wire laying across the ground, they won't cross that either. So it's just a good training opportunity. Right here in the small field first. It's about an acre and a half probably. These are all pullets. These are going to be egg layers, and they're about 3 days old. The first day I could have picked them up was yesterday, but I couldn't get to it until today. So usually they send them a day old. So they were today's Friday. They were probably born Tuesday, shipped out Wednesday overnight, came Thursday. So today might be the 4th day of age for them. And for the first week we keep them at 95, and then every week thereafter you drop it 5 degrees. So there's some common chickens in here like barred rocks and leghorns, but there's also some more rare ones that are kind of pretty, like the lavender Orpingtons, Kokins, Cuckoo Morans, and a couple others that skip my brain right at this moment. But anyway, that's what we got here. Pretty busy here on the farm this spring. I used up more wood than I normally would, but that's actually worked out to my benefit because I've got these 2 extra bays. I put the calves in temporarily until I put them out in the barn. I had to get the sheep out of the barn, then I put the calves in their place. The chicken coop up by the tractor shed is full of broilers that'll go in a week or so, and I got my first batch of layers up there also. They're all about 6 weeks old, so the broilers will be heading to freezer camp next week. I guess that's a wrap for today. It's been raining still, and I'm soaked, so thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.